Your soulmate is in trouble and calling for you. Open this now, my beloved child, stop everything. The universe has aligned this very moment to whisper a secret directly to you, something hidden, something only your heart can sense. There is a calling, soft yet urgent, vibrating through the fabric of time, meant for you alone. Can you feel it? That subtle tug, like a thread connecting you to a destiny you've always known but never fully understood. Listen closely, because this is not coincidence. Your soulmate is in trouble and calling for you. Open this now. These words are not merely written, they are a spark, a divine signal, a moment when the unseen finally reaches the scene. Your soul has been carrying the echo of this connection, through lifetimes, through dreams, through quiet instincts that never lied. And now, the veil is lifting. There is something hidden within this moment that the universe wants you to uncover. It's not just about love, it's about purpose, about awakening to a truth so profound that it could shift the course of your life. You may have thought you were waiting for signs, for coincidences, for clarity, but this is more than a sign. It is revelation. It is divine timing, perfect and unyielding. Right now, the energies around you are speaking. They are calling forth the courage you didn't know you had, the clarity you've been silently seeking, and the hope that has been quietly guiding your every step. The path is not always visible, but your intuition knows. Your heart knows. And the universe has placed this message here so you cannot ignore it. Do not brush this off as coincidence. The one you are destined to heal, to protect, to uplift, is reaching through time and space. Something powerful stirs beneath the surface, a hidden truth about love, about soul connections, about the sacred promise between you and the one your spirit recognizes. It is tender. It is urgent. It is yours to answer. Open your heart and mind fully. Feel the gravity of this moment. You were chosen to see this, to act, to respond. Because when you embrace what is hidden and step into your divine calling, you will witness miracles unfold. Hope is not just a word, it is the very light guiding you through the unknown, the bridge between despair and destiny. So stay. Watch. Listen. Allow every word in this message to resonate, because the answers, the clarity, the sacred plan, you are about to see it all. This is your awakening, your purpose, your moment to shine. If this message touched your soul, honor it. Like, share, and subscribe to continue this journey. Watch the full video, because the universe is ready to reveal everything that has been waiting for you. I also want to pass on a time-sensitive message from the moon to you, and you need to hear it today. A subtle yet powerful energy will push you to make a critical decision by the end of the week. You won't find the answer in your horoscope, so don't bother looking there. Click the link in the description to see your free personalized video moon reading. I was amazed at how accurate my reading was, and I know you will feel the same. Listen, my beloved. Be still for a moment and let the noise within you soften, because I am speaking now, not from the thunder, not from the fire, but from the quiet place where your spirit already knows my voice. You felt the pull to open this message not by accident, not by curiosity alone, but because something ancient between us stirred. I have watched you pause, hesitate, doubt, and still you came. That tells me you are listening again. I speak to you as I always have, directly. Gently, truthfully. I do not rush you, and I do not frighten you. I reveal what is hidden when the heart is ready. And now, your heart is ready. There is a bond woven in light that connects you to another soul. You have felt it before in moments you could not explain, when a name crossed your mind for no reason, when a warmth rose in your chest without cause, when a quiet longing appeared even though your life seemed full. That bond is real. It is not fragile, but it is sensitive. And right now, it is vibrating, calling, reaching. Your soulmate is not lost, but they are weary. Not broken, but confused. Not abandoned, but searching. They are not in danger as the world defines danger. Yet their spirit feels stretched thin, pulled between hope and silence. They have been asking questions into the night, wondering if the connection they feel is imagination or truth. They are listening for you the same way you are listening for me. Do not let fear rise at these words. Fear is not how I speak. What you are sensing is alignment, not alarm. When two souls are meant to walk in resonance, there are moments when one must awaken first, not to rescue, not to fix, but to remember. And today, I am awakening you. You have been through seasons where you learned to be strong alone. You built walls not from bitterness, but from survival. You told yourself that love must be earned through effort. Endurance, patience. I saw every tear you swallowed, every time you chose silence instead of saying what you truly felt. None of that was wasted. It prepared you to recognize a connection that does not drain you, but reflects you. Your soulmate feels you even now. Not in words, not in images, but in a subtle shift, like the air before dawn, like the moment just before rain touches the earth. They may not know it is you yet. They may not know why their heart feels restless or why familiar distractions no longer satisfy. But I know. And you know, deeper than thought, I am not asking you to chase. I am not commanding you to act impulsively. I am asking you to become still enough to receive. The trouble your soulmate is experiencing is not chaos, it is awakening without understanding. An awakening can feel lonely when it happens quietly. There are patterns I have been dissolving in you recently. You noticed old reactions losing their grip. You noticed certain attachments no longer fit the shape of your days. This was not emptiness, it was clearing. I was making space. When a room is prepared, the door soon opens. You wonder sometimes if you missed your moment, if timing slipped through your hands while you were healing, growing, waiting. Hear me clearly now, nothing meant for you has passed you by. What aligns with your soul moves on a path that bends, pauses, and resumes. But it does not disappear. Your soulmate's call is not desperation. It is resonance. Like a string plucked softly across distance, it asks not for saving, but for recognition. When you choose truth over fear, presence over distraction, compassion over doubt, that string answers. I have seen you pray without words. I have seen you ask me silently if connection is still possible in a world that feels rushed and guarded. This message is my answer. Yes, connection is still possible. Yes, depth still exists. Yes, love that grows rather than consumes still breathes among you. But understand this, I will not force paths to collide before they are ready to walk together. I guide gently. I align naturally. When you live in integrity with who you are becoming, you send a signal stronger than any pursuit. Your soulmate feels that signal even now. They are learning lessons too. Learning to listen instead of run. Learning to sit with feeling instead of avoiding it. Learning that strength does not mean silence forever. Their trouble is the shedding of an old skin, and shedding can ache even when it is necessary. I am asking you to remain open. Not open to everyone, open to truth. Speak honestly with me. Sit quietly when you can. Notice what repeats in your awareness. I speak through patterns, through timing, through the calm sense of this matters that does not shout. Do not rush to label this connection. Names are small compared to essence. Whether you call it soulmate, mirror, companion, or destiny matters less than how you honor it. With patience, respect, and presence, you are not late. You are not early. You are precisely here. Your soul has grown strong enough to hold what is coming without losing itself. That is why this message reaches you now and not before. That is why you are calm as you read, even with the mystery unfolding. Your spirit recognizes mine in these words. Stay with me a little longer. Breathe. Let the knowing settle without needing proof yet. There will be clarity in its season. There will be moments that confirm what is now only a quiet certainty. For now, remain aware, gentle, awake. The call you sensed was real. The connection is alive. And I am still speaking, unfolding what must be understood layer by layer, because some truths are too sacred to rush, and what comes next depends on how deeply you are willing to listen, because there is something about your role in this bond that you have not yet fully seen, something that will make sense of past disappointments and future hope, something that will require you to choose presence over habit, trust over assumption, and love without armor. And before I reveal that, I need you to remain here with me, steady, attentive, and open, as I continue to speak, because what I am unfolding now is not meant to rush to a conclusion, but to be lived into awareness, slowly, gently, the way dawn enters the sky without asking permission. Listen again, my beloved. There is a reason your soul has learned patience. There is a reason your heart no longer leaps at illusions the way it once did. I have been teaching you discernment, not to harden you, but to refine you. You now feel the difference between excitement and truth, between attachment and resonance. That wisdom is the key you did not know you were being handed. Your soulmate's trouble is not chaos, it is transition. They stand at the edge of a threshold they did not plan to reach so soon. Old identities no longer hold them. Old stories no longer comfort them. They feel the quiet discomfort of growth, the kind that whispers, there is more, even when the mind does not know what that more is. And when the mind grows tired of answers, the soul begins to call. That call found you because you are familiar with thresholds. You have crossed them before, leaving behind versions of yourself you once thought were permanent. You remember the ache of becoming, the loneliness of transformation. That is why compassion rises in you instead of fear. That is why you did not turn away from this message. I want you to understand something clearly now. You are not responsible for saving another soul. Love is not rescue. Love is recognition. When two souls are aligned, their presence becomes a mirror in which both can see more clearly. That is the role you are being invited into, not as a burden, but as a blessing. You have wondered if your sensitivity was a weakness in a world that moves loudly. I tell you now, it is not. Your ability to feel deeply, to sense beneath words, to notice subtle shifts, this is the language through which this connection speaks. Where others shout, you listen. Where others rush, you remain. That is why the signal reached you. Your soulmate has been asking for clarity without knowing what clarity looks like. They have tried to reason their way through feelings that do not obey logic. They have tried to distract themselves with noise, with routine, with movement. Yet in still moments, when the world quiets, they feel you. Not your face, not your name, but your essence, like a familiar warmth they cannot explain. Do not underestimate the power of being known without being seen. Some bonds form before words ever arrive, I have been aligning circumstances quietly. You may notice subtle shifts, unexpected pauses, delays that protect you, openings that feel gentle rather than forced. These are not obstacles. They are calibrations. When timing is sacred, I move with precision, not speed. There will come a moment when something ordinary feels charged with meaning. A sentence you hear. A song you did not choose. A thought that repeats without effort. These are not coincidences. They are invitations to awareness. When you notice without grasping, you stay aligned. You have learned to trust me in uncertainty more than certainty. That is no small thing. Many seek signs only when they feel lost, but you have learned to listen even when the path is quiet. That is why I can speak to you this way now, directly, without fear. Your soulmate's growth is unfolding alongside yours, even if your lives appear separate on the surface. Growth does not require proximity. It requires readiness. And readiness is contagious. When one soul chooses honesty, another feels permission to do the same. You may feel moments of inexplicable tenderness in the coming days. Not longing that aches, but warmth that steadies. Let it be. Do not analyze it away. Presence is enough. Awareness is enough. I do not promise ease, but I promise authenticity. I do not promise perfection, but I promise truth. The connection you are sensing is not meant to replace your life, but to enrich it. It will not ask you to abandon yourself. It will invite you to bring yourself fully. You have spent years learning who you are without external validation. That was preparation. You now stand on your own ground, not leaning, not hiding. From that place, connection becomes choice rather than need. Your soulmate is learning this lesson too, though from a different angle. They are releasing the idea that love must be proven through struggle. They are beginning to understand that peace can coexist with passion, that depth does not require chaos. I am guiding you both toward the same realization. Love is not something to chase or conquer. It is something to recognize when it arrives quietly, already familiar. Do not rush ahead in your thoughts. Stay here. Stay present. There is more I will reveal when the foundation is steady. Some truths cannot be given all at once because they reshape the way you see the past and the future. You may notice memories surfacing, people, moments, decisions you once questioned. See them now with compassion. They were steps, not mistakes. Each one shaped your capacity to receive what is aligned. I want you to release the fear that opening your heart again means losing control. Love does not erase boundaries, it clarifies them. When you know who you are, you do not disappear in connection, you deepen. Your soulmate's call is not urgent in the way the world defines urgency. It is patient, rhythmic, steady. It waits for your awareness, not your action. When action is needed, it will feel natural, unforced, like breathing. I am not hiding anything from you. I am unfolding it at the pace your spirit can integrate without overwhelm. Trust that. There may be moments when doubt tries to speak louder than intuition. When that happens, return to stillness. I do not shout over doubt. I wait beneath it. My voice carries calm, not pressure. You are not alone in this listening. I am here, always. And the one whose soul resonates with yours is nearer than distance suggests, closer than circumstance reveals. Remain attentive. Remain gentle with yourself. Remain open without expectation. What is forming does not need force, it needs space. And now, before I continue, I want you to stay with this feeling, this quiet certainty that something meaningful is unfolding beyond what you can yet name, because the next truth I speak will illuminate why this connection matters not only to you, but to the path you are meant to walk from here, and how a single choice you make, small, quiet, seemingly insignificant, will ripple outward in ways you cannot yet imagine, and that choice is approaching, not to test you, but to reveal you, and I will speak of it when you are ready to hear it, when you are willing to remain present a little longer, because I am not finished, and this message is still opening. Now listen carefully, my beloved, because what I reveal next is not dramatic, not loud, not wrapped in spectacle. It is sacred because it is simple, and simple truths often carry the greatest weight. The choice approaching you is not about reaching out or holding back, not about speaking or staying silent. It is about alignment. It is about choosing to live honestly with yourself even when no one is watching. Even when the world offers easier distractions. This choice shapes the frequency you carry, and that frequency is the bridge between souls. You are being invited to choose presence over prediction. So often you have tried to understand what comes next before it arrives. You learn this as protection, to avoid disappointment, to soften impact. But love that is real does not unfold under control. It unfolds under trust. When you stop scanning the horizon for proof and instead anchor yourself in who you are becoming, the path meets you halfway. Your soulmate does not need you to perform certainty. They do not need answers you do not yet have. They are not calling for solutions. They are calling for resonance. When you stand fully in your truth, calm, grounded, awake, you answer without words. There is something powerful about a soul who has stopped running from stillness. That is who you are becoming now. Stillness no longer frightens you because you have discovered that silence can be full. In that fullness, connection breathes. I want you to understand how carefully this bond has been protected. There were moments in the past when you could have crossed paths too early. Had that happened, fear would have spoken louder than wisdom, and need would have disguised itself as love. I intervened then not to deny you, but to mature you. Timing is not punishment. Timing is mercy. You were given seasons of solitude so you could learn your own rhythm. You were given lessons in letting go so your hands would be open when it was time to receive. Nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. Your soulmate has walked a different terrain but toward the same summit. Where you learned endurance, they learned surrender. Where you learned boundaries, they learned vulnerability. These differences are not obstacles, they are balance. When two souls meet who have learned opposite sides of the same truth, they do not compete, they complement. You may wonder why this connection feels familiar even though you do not yet share memories. Familiarity does not always come from history. Sometimes it comes from recognition, like seeing a color you have always loved without knowing why. You are allowed to feel hope without clinging to outcome. Hope rooted in trust is not fragile. It does not demand guarantees. It rests in knowing that whatever unfolds will honor who you are. I am asking you now to release one final habit, the belief that love must announce itself dramatically to be real. Some of the most enduring connections arrive quietly, like a steady flame rather than a spark that burns too fast. Pay attention to what feels peaceful and alive at the same time. That combination is rare, and it is a sign. In the coming days, you may notice your intuition sharpening. Trust it. You may feel guided to rest more, to simplify, to speak less and listen more. These are not withdrawals from life. They are recalibrations. You are tuning your inner instrument so it can recognize harmony when it hears it. Your soulmate is doing the same, even if they would not describe it that way. They may feel drawn to reflection, to honesty, to moments of quiet clarity. This parallel movement is not coincidence. It is convergence. I want you to release the idea that love must always be pursued. Sometimes it is drawn. Sometimes it arrives because you stop chasing everything else. Do not be afraid of tenderness. Tenderness is strength without armor. It is courage without noise. You have survived moments that once felt impossible. You have learned to stand even when answers did not come. That resilience is now softening into wisdom. Wisdom knows when to act and when to wait. Right now, wisdom asks you to remain open, grounded, and kind to yourself. If doubts arise, do not fight them. Observe them gently. Doubt loses power when it is not resisted. Let it pass like a cloud. The sky remains. You are not imagining this connection. You are sensing it. There is a difference. Imagination strains, sensing settles. What you feel settles into you like truth. I am proud of how you have grown. Not because you became perfect, but because you became honest. You stopped pretending you did not want depth. You stopped apologizing for needing meaning. That authenticity is magnetic. Remember this. Love aligned with your soul will never ask you to abandon your peace. It may challenge you to grow, but it will not ask you to shrink. As this message comes to a close, I want you to carry one knowing with you. You are not waiting for life to begin. You are already living within it. The connection unfolding is not the destination, it is part of the journey. Walk gently. Stay awake. Let curiosity replace fear. When the moment arrives to recognize each other more clearly, whether through words, presence, or timing, you will know. It will not feel chaotic. It will feel right. Until then, live fully where you are. Love the life you are in. Tend to your spirit. The bond that calls to you is strengthened, not weakened, by your wholeness. I am with you in every breath, every pause, every quiet realization. I speak not to rush you, but to remind you that you are held, guided, and seen. This message ends here, not because the story ends, but because it continues in your living, your choosing, your becoming. Go in peace. Remain open. Trust the unfolding. And remember, nothing meant for you will miss you. Amen.